right, welcome guys. Episode 6 of Chef and Lambos. I got a chef here, a special guest that does a little bit of restaurant work and catering, which is a first. Most of the guests have been either one or the other, but you're doing a little of both. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah. All right, I'm Larry Falisi. I started a catering company back in 2015. I did that for a couple years by itself until we realized we needed more space.
Okay.
We needed a home base. So we built out a fast casual restaurant. We did breakfast and lunch. I was open 6 days a week, casual, and then we were closed by like 5 p.m. That way I could go and skate out and do catering events.
There you go.
So we did that for a couple years. We built that out all ourselves. We did the demo and the complete build out. And pretty much as we were finishing the build out, we were still crazy busy with catering. And we're like, hey, we're running out of space already. We didn't even build this place yet. So we just did that for about 2 years. And then we really looked at it and like, hey, we need to keep growing. Like, we're running out of room.
But when you started that business, like roughly how many employees? Like how many cooks
When I
and all
had
this stuff?
the restaurant and the catering, the first one, I think I had about 6 cooks, one head chef, one of my buddies from college. I'll give him a good shout out.
That's your partner, right?
No, so my partner is my actual brother.
Oh, okay.
But I met a kid in college. His name was Kyle.
Okay.
We became very good friends. We were fraternity brothers for the whole time. When I graduated, I moved back to Naples and started this whole thing. He stayed in Lakeland and got his master's. I went back one day. I saw him. I'm like, hey, what are you up to? He's like, I'm just still cooking in that restaurant. I'm like, dude, can we curse on this?
Yeah, go for it.
He goes, fuck that place. He goes, I'm out. I'm like, dude, come with me. We'll run it. And I brought him down, and he was with me for years.
Okay.
So I had him. That was a big help. And then my brother, mom, and dad, and that was pretty much the team we had at first.
So like a family business.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
For sure, yep. On-site events, in the restaurant, whatever it was, we took care of all that. And then about the end of 2019, I started the aviation catering.
Okay.
I was kind of briefly talking about.
Yeah.
That really took off about a year in. And then during all of that, we were like, hey, we need to look at a new place. We need to find something. Looked around, tried to find just a kitchen.
Yeah.
Didn't want to open a restaurant.
Right.
Wanted just a kitchen.
Yeah.
That was not something we could find. So we're like, hey, let's see what we can do. We found the location. It was empty for 2.5 years. Complete demo. It took about 7 months to rip everything out of there. And then me and my brother and dad just rebuilt the whole place ourselves. Painted, tile work, all new electrical work, everything. And then that became the hangout that we have now.
That's
so about
awesome.
165 seats. 30-seat bar, indoor-outdoor style.
Sweet.
Tried to make it a casual environment for people that weren't really looking for one thing to eat. They're looking for, me and you, we can go hang out and we'll have whatever.
Yeah.
We can share things, different appetizers. I run pizza. We hand make our own pizza dough.
Gotcha.
So that's definitely something that's popular too.
Well, let me ask you this. Like, I've always been under the impression that, I never wanted to be a restaurant owner. I never wanted to have a restaurant because I don't want to worry about the staff. I feel like there's a lot of theft.
For sure.
You can't go on a vacation without freaking out about what's going on there.
Yeah.
Tell me, am I wrong? Tell me.
You are nowhere near wrong. So
See?
The only reason at the time where it made sense to open this restaurant, because I had a team. I had a bunch of young kids who were learning and they were killing it. And I had that guy Kyle with me. So at the time, it just made so much sense. We're like, they could hold down the restaurant. I don't even have to be that involved in it. And I could just crush the catering on my own. Well, about 6 months in, they didn't really see the vision that we saw. They kind of felt bigger than they were. And then pieces kept falling until one point it was just me and Kyle.
Okay.
We were pretty much cooking everything ourselves. And then finally, he gave me the heads up. He's like, hey, brother, it's my time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I appreciate everything you gave to me. But no, definitely owning a restaurant was never in my vision either.
Right.
Now I look back at it, it's been an awesome experience. I learned a ton of different things and definitely things moving forward. But yeah, especially during COVID, we've had about 450 employees. I've been open a year and 6 months.
Oh, just that many people coming and going. And are you saying because people getting sick mostly, or just not dependable?
I think I had maybe 10 people get sick and then not come back. But just other ones, just no one was dependable. People would just stop showing up.
That's what I worry about.
But I'm getting the text like, yo, you're my best boss I've ever had. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm overpaying. And it is what it is.
Yeah,
You know how that goes.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm preaching to the choir sometimes.
But I just feel like, I don't know, like I'm from Michigan up north, and I just feel like the work ethic down here is just much to be desired. I don't know.
It's definitely, you could definitely feel the difference in some of them. I mean, I grew up here. I've been here since 2005.
Okay.
So I've kind of seen some of my friends that I grew up with who still are just hanging around, not doing much. But there's definitely a lot of friends that, my one friend just started his own AC company, so he's crushing it. So there's definitely, if they're there to do it, they'll do it. But you got to get lucky.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I go through so many servers and stuff.
Oh,
it's
the front of the house is a whole nother story.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I just find the younger they are, if they're like in their 20s or whatever, they're still in that party mode.
Correct.
And come in
I'll get
hungover.
lucky with some of the ones that need to work, and they actually come to me, hey, what can I learn today? What can I learn today? Like right now, my kitchen staff, this is probably the longest I've had the same team.
Yeah.
And they're just a group of people that want to work. They come to work, they're on time, they never miss. And if they do, it's a real family emergency. There's something really going on, and they let me know.
Yeah.
So, but I'm very forgiving with them. I let a lot of things slide if they put in the work. If you're here and you're doing it with me, I don't care if you need a day. Take that day. I'm here.
How often does it happen where you got somebody who comes to you that says, I could do this, I could do that, and then you find out they just totally lied to your face and they don't know how to do it?
That happened many
quite
times.
a bit, I bet.
Especially when my buddy Kyle left, I was looking for a new head chef.
Okay. Oh my God.
You know how that goes.
Well,
I
I
had
just
4 or 5
find
guys come in, and 2 weeks later, I'm like,
see, like when someone's like doing a restaurant thing, I always say, bring them in, have them make 3 or 4 dishes just for you.
Right.
And just see if their salt's off.
How that style goes.
Yeah, just give them a small test.
That's definitely something that. But again, I wasn't able to pick and choose. I was lucky to get a body in there.
Yeah.
At one point, I cooked every hot meal for lunch and dinner for 4 months, while my dad made every pizza.
Wow.
So like, I couldn't be picky at that point. You're going to show up, I'll take it.
See, I think if I was in your shoes and I had people in my family that want to help me and want to cook, which I don't.
Oh, thank God
I don't have that. But I'm saying if I had that, maybe
Yeah.
I would have had the balls to do what you
No,
did.
it for sure is
no way.
It's a huge difference. If I didn't have my brother and my dad in there every day and then my mom on the back end helping, my mom was even baking stuff for me.
Yeah.
So like, without that, it would have been a disaster.
Right.
Luckily, we had the 4 of us. We ran the catering on our own, the aviation on our own, and the restaurant on our own at some points. Like, we get it done.
Yeah.
But obviously, every day, day in, day out.
Family won't let you down, man. They'll
That's
go
true.
in sick. They got pains.
Too many times.
You know,
I got to kick my
show
dad
up.
out. The man won't leave.
Really?
He won't leave the
See,
building. I
that's
got to kick
awesome.
him out.
That's what I need.
But that's why I show up to work, because that's how he works. I'm like,
right.
I'm going to do what this guy does. So.
Well, going back in time, like, can you think back, like, when you were like a kid, did you always know you wanted to be a chef, or what was the
not at
realization?
All.
You know?
I mean, we're an Italian family from New York, so everything was always a party. We do a party for everything, and the whole family would always get together. Grandma's cooking, all my aunts were cooking, so I was always around that. It was always a party scene. Someone's birthday, the weddings were always entertaining. So I definitely learned how to throw parties as a young kid.
Yeah.
And then when I got to high school, I was really good at throwing parties. And then I went to college, and that's where it really, like, I knew what I was doing.
Now, college culinary school?
So, no, I went to Florida Southern, and I went to be a teacher.
Oh, okay. So totally.
Oh, completely different. I went to be a teacher. I studied education. I got my degree in that.
Now you got a fallback.
Exactly. I think my license expired this year. I said, I'll let that go.
Gotcha.
But at the time I was in my fraternity, and I was always on the grill. I was cooking for all the guys. I was always doing stuff on our own. I lived in the house with some of my friends. I was cooking for them, showing them stuff.
Yeah.
So that's kind of when I got the realization, hey, I'm pretty good at this.
Yeah.
And then my dad was back in Naples with my brother, and my brother worked for Merrill Lynch, and he started cooking lunches for them to get them to actually show up to meetings and pay attention. So it started to get to the point where he needed help. So I would drive down to Naples, help for the day, and then drive back. Then I went to 2 days a week. Then I went to 3 days a week. And now I'm graduating. I'm like, I'm going to go be a teacher. Why? I could go do something that I actually enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Like, I love teaching kids and all. I think that's why I'm definitely a good chef at some point, because I can break down and be patient with these people who have never held a knife before.
Right.
They have no clue what they're doing.
Right.
But now you look at my team now, and they're actually running. I left. I'm not there. They're running the restaurant right now.
Right.
So
that's crazy. I could never do that. I could never walk away.
it was tough. The first couple of times I did it, I was like on the cameras watching. I'm calling constantly. I'm like, hey, what's going on? You guys good? You guys good? But once it got to that point where like, no,
What's the longest you've been away? Like 2 weeks, a week, or not even that long?
I've taken 12 days off in the last 3 years.
Okay. So you're paranoid then,
yeah,
like me.
I'm there.
Yeah,
no, I'm in there.
Being a chef, you're very paranoid. People are going to screw things up for you.
Oh, for sure.
And that's
the thing. That's the thing. If I don't put it out there, I don't know if it's the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, I do have to be, hey, you taught them right. You taught them right. Like just constantly telling myself that.
Right.
But no, occasionally you get the burger that comes back completely rare.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Well,
as long as you can go out and talk to that person now and make it right, then you could be cool.
Yeah.
But,
well, I had a couple other chefs on, and they were telling me, like, you got the wrong idea. They're like, if you pay people really well, they'll perform. Everything will turn out right.
Money ain't all the things.
But you know what I say? I say, guys, I just feel like nobody's going to care as much as the guy's name on the building.
Oh, 1,000%.
You know what I mean? Why would they care if they're not part owner? Why would they care?
I can tell you for a fact, though, my friend Kyle, when he was working with me, that man cared.
Yeah, he was
cared
your
like
homeboy.
it was,
he was
his. He gave a shit.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I've had kids in there that were 18 years old. They had nothing to their name, and they took that shit. They're like, hey, I'm going to be a chef with you. I'm going to learn how to do this stuff. And when you lose guys like that, that's when it sucks.
Yeah.
Because they actually could have been something
Right.
for real. Now they're working in some bullshit kitchens
that's
now
the other
doing
point.
nothing.
That's the other point. Think of all the people you invested your time in training, saying, hey, this guy's, he's going to make it. He's going to do it. And then all of a sudden, hey, this ain't for me. I'm out of here. Or he got another job.
3 years later, I've showed this kid everything. I got a kid in my head personally. I'm not even going to say his name, but bringing him into houses like this, teaching him English, teaching him how to talk to people, not just kitchen skills, actual life skills, like how to buy a car, buying a car for him, like showing him this shit, and then I'm out.
What was his situation, though? Why did he leave?
They couldn't take criticism.
Oh.
My guy,
I thought it was money or some other guy
money
stole
was never
him.
the problem. My buddy Kyle was the authoritative figure in the kitchen. I was the one to bring everyone together, and Kyle was the one to force that shit down their throat. It got to the point where if they didn't do something, and he said, why did you not do it? They would just berate him and go off on him. Like, all right, now that's you're nowhere near where you should be.
Right.
This is the guy he's here with you. It's not like Kyle wasn't working. That man was working in the kitchen with you.
Right.
How are you going to treat him like that?
Yeah.
So once it got to that point, we just cut it, and they left themselves.
But you were shaking your head when I was like, pay him more, treat him better, whatever. Why do you disagree with that? Because you think it's a mindset. It's not about money.
I've had people I paid $14 an hour that are my best employees.
Yeah.
I've paid chefs $80,000 who couldn't last a month.
Right. Okay. So
meanwhile, they were making $50 at their last job.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. I'll pay you double. Give me 60 hours a week.
See, I'm thinking
I'm doing 120. Give me 60.
I think with a lot of them, when they're walking in the door, they already have a bad mindset, and you can't change.
Yeah, you'll
that.
never change that.
They're
stuck
just kind of broken.
Yeah, nah. And that's what I've tried to do. I've tried to take this restaurant at a completely different angle. I've worked in different places, but I never worked in a kitchen before. Mm-hmm. So I've just heard stories about how bad it is. I'm like, why? It doesn't have to be like that.
Right.
My team that comes in, everyone smiles the whole shift. We're laughing. We have a good time. We hug each other when we get there, and we hug each other when they leave.
That's awesome.
That's what I wanted to build. I wanted to do something completely different so that when you do leave and you go somewhere else, you say, why the fuck did I leave?
Right.
And then you're going to call me back.
Right.
And now I'll take half one back.
Yeah. With your experience of being a chef, did you ever kind of crave the idea of going to a culinary school, or you're just like, I don't think I need it?
Definitely did. Obviously you could always learn.
Yeah, anybody can learn.
I don't know everything. I don't even know half the shit. I probably should.
Yeah.
I just know from things that I've messed up on, and I've known how to grow from there and make everything better off that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would love to. At the time, money wasn't the greatest.
Yeah.
So that probably wasn't
an
avenue I could have taken.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, at this point though, I feel like I know so many good chefs. If I do have a question, I could just go to someone like that.
Sure.
Like one of my buddies, Junior, that man, I think he's 40 now. He looks 30. Mm-hmm. But that man, he's been in it. He's been all over town. He's been in schooling. He's done it all. So I got a question. I call him up. He answers first ring, and I got no problem. So
cool.
And he'll come and show me, and then he'll come and wash dishes with me. So,
Now,
like,
with your business, are you more a fan of hiring someone who's not trained or getting someone who's gone into the CIA or Johnson
so
and Wales?
for a very long time, I was anti-schooling.
Okay.
I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna teach
Because
you
they
how I
come in
learned.
with bad ideas
Exactly.
and
I think
mindsets that
that's
are
how I think. Yes.
set.
Yes.
Like you can't train
Exactly.
them new
no,
tricks.
I'm cooking
kind
it
of thing?
this way, and this is the way it's going to get cooked. No, why? Look how I cook it.
Right.
Then we'll talk about it.
Right.
Now, whose is better?
Right.
Instead of, no, I'm doing it this way no matter what.
Okay.
I got a new chef in now. He's been in about a month and a half with me, and very open mindset guy. He's done all of his schooling. He knows his shit. Mm-hmm. He didn't come in saying, no, we're doing it this way, we're doing it this way. He said, nah, you show me how you do it. I'm going to talk about how I do it. If you like what I say, then I'll do it, and then we'll come back. I'm like, well,
or
you're
you
on
guys
we're on the same mind. Yep.
You could come up with like a 50-50.
Exactly.
Hey, we'll use some of your ideas.
Exactly.
Some
The
of
more
mine.
that we team up on things, the better it's going to be.
Okay.
You get two minds on it. It's always going to be better.
And like, would you say that your style is very strict with the guys? How often do you go crazy and yell
I'll go
at
off
people?
on them at least once a day.
Oh, okay.
I'll go off once a day.
Uh-huh.
But they all know why. It's not like I'm just doing it for no reason. It's a build-up. It's never the first thing ain't ever going to get me.
Right.
Unless you're sending raw food out and you didn't give a shit about it, they know what will get me, and they'll know the things that get me excited.
Gotcha.
So they'll get to the point where they do it, and they'll immediately, like, I don't even have to go off. And they're like, yo, I fucked up. I'm sorry. Like, this is what I did, and I get it. I'm like, all right, cool, man. Like, that's what we need. Now, you're going to come out, though, with me to this table, and you're going to tell them that. I'm not telling them that. We are going to, as a group, be honest with this guest and tell them what we fucked up.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have grown to that. They like that.
See, I think, like, in your position of doing a restaurant, I would fear that you got a guy in the kitchen. If you're not watching, I'm just saying, like, let's say you're busy or whatever, you haven't been watching the kitchen much.
Yeah.
You might have a guy selling food that's burnt. And
I've
then that
had
customer ate it, left, and you're done with that guy. He's never coming back.
The amount of times I get the Google review, 1 star, I had a burnt piece of chicken parm. I'm like, man, why don't you tell me while you were here? Like,
oh, yeah.
I would have given that for you for free. I would have bought a few the next time, too. And then that's when I go off on the team. I'm like, guys, read this. Read it out loud so everyone could hear it. You guys serve some shit to people that you shouldn't have served. And my big thing is, if you want to give it to me, why are you selling it to someone?
That's pretty much
you're not
kicking
even going to give it to me for free because I'm going to eat it for free, technically. But you're going to sell it to somebody else.
But I'm saying, like, them screwing you like that is hurting your pocketbook.
Oh, of course.
Because that guy's going to tell other people.
Of course.
And it's just going to be bad.
And I got to discount. I got to give free stuff away. I'm cool. I love giving free stuff away. I probably give too much free stuff away. But it's on my end. It's not because we fucked up.
Yeah.
And that's where it's going to get you.
Right.
So, yeah, always watching that and try to keep that to the smallest.
And there's going to be little things that are going to slip through.
Exactly.
You might have
as
a bartender
long as you're
giving
not
out.
doing it on purpose,
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. We're going to learn from it and we can get better, then I'm cool.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it on purpose, no, I've literally dragged people out of that kitchen before, said, do not come back here.
Yeah.
You're not welcome back here.
When I started working, like, learning the business, I was like a restaurant guy.
Yeah.
20s, whatever.
Yeah.
And the deal was, like, I just saw a lot of, like, theft. I've seen, like, what did I see? Like, not kitchen, what are they? Like, let's say prep cooks.
Okay, yeah.
They'll go into the walk-in. I'd catch them throwing like a case of beer in the garbage bag,
And
throw it out, and then
pulling it.
after work they go back there and grab it.
See,
or
luckily-
steaks, they do that.
for sure. Again, luckily, I'm there enough there's always someone in the kitchen. It's never really 1 or 2 people, and they're never sectioned off. My whole space is open. Everything's open.
A lot
in
of
the
cameras?
kitchen. I have 36 cameras.
Wow, that's a paranoid guy right there.
Yeah.
This dude's paranoid.
That was probably more on my dad's end.
36.
He's like, I'm seeing every register. I'm seeing 4
Whoa.
outside. I'm like, cool, man. I'm with it.
Jeez.
We ran the wires for it. I'm like, hey, fine with me.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah.
Have you caught a lot of people stealing, though, or what?
Some bartenders, for sure.
See, that's another thing.
The
You
bar
might have
guys
like a beautiful girl at the
The
bar.
bar guys,
She'll
I'll
just keep
tell you,
pouring.
they fucked me for the first year of me having this restaurant.
Yeah. See, they give out the free
From
drinks.
giving
so they
free
get
shit away
more
to not
tips.
cleaning a single fucking thing behind my bar. Disaster. Absolute disaster.
And then the
I've
other
had
thing,
the worst. I've had 2 good bartenders. Other than that, the worst staff I've ever seen.
and then I hear with a lot of these restaurants and bars, they never clean those taps.
That's
with
one
the
thing
beer?
that I do actually get to do. We actually have our beer companies. Each one of them come out and they do it every other week. So we're getting it cleaned every week by one of the companies.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of places do that.
See, also ours are direct pull,
Okay.
straight from the keg.
Okay.
So it's not like we're cleaning lines and lines and lines. A lot of
Gotcha.
places have it like that.
And with your catering, I know we talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
But what is the most you've ever cooked for? What's like the big numbers?
So Arthrex is definitely on that higher end. Some days they've done, I think, 2,000 plus.
Is that a lunch? Or is
It's
like a
they
dinner
actually
party?
they would actually do 2 times. So they do 2 shifts. You got their first team who worked overnight, they eat, and then the next team that comes in, they work low, then they eat. So I have a mobile kitchen that I can pull up anywhere, self-sufficient, full size. I could fit
Kind of like a food truck.
I could fit 7 to 8 people in there to operate.
Okay, but it's like a trailer
Exactly.
with
Yeah,
a
it's
kitchen.
pulled
in
by
it.
my truck.
Yeah.
So yeah, I pull that up in their parking lot, and we just cook all there, so everything's fresh on site.
So what's
and
in there?
we
Like
pack it right there.
fryer, grill?
I got
what's in there?
I got a double side fryer. I got an 8-top stove. I got a 4-foot range, a 2-foot barbecue, a smoker,
Damn,
a warmer.
I'm jealous.
I still got the
That
3
thing's
windows, so I
awesome.
could serve as
sounds
truck style. I got a triple sink, hand wash sink, refrigerator, a salad station. Thing's massive.
So how often does shit break in there?
I set 2 fires in my smoker.
Whoa.
I'm a certified firefighter. I feel like
Jeez.
that was
Someone
that was entertaining. I wish I had videos of those.
during COVID,
man.
someone was talking to me about doing a food truck. They're like, you should do a food truck. I mean, you got a lot of followers, but then they were like, I talked to people that do it. They're like, look, man, you don't make that much money.
Naples just
Stuff
ain't really the
breaks all the
place for it.
time. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the one thing I learned
yeah.
is you can't just park anywhere. There's rules and
Yeah.
there's laws. You can't just
yeah.
go anywhere.
You just don't see enough
And they
volume
rotate.
in Naples.
Like Celebration, I think you mentioned.
Yeah.
I think they rotate people out.
They do. I mean, like the breweries. You go to a brewery on a Friday night, you're lucky if you see 100 people.
Yeah.
You're not working that trailer by yourself. You got 2 people. You got your prep time. You got your food. What do you do with the food you don't sell?
Right.
Now you're not serving fresh food the next day.
Yeah. The other complaint they
That's
said
why I don't go to Celebration Park.
They said it's too hot. They're like
my
you're gonna
God.
sweat like crazy
I have
when you
2
work in the
AC
food.
units in my trailer, and during summer it's still
Like 1,000 degrees.
115. Thank God I'm not in Texas. I've seen some of those guys out there. They're getting killed.
Oh yeah.
But there's a wedding barn out in the middle of the woods. I pull that out there, and I'm frying chicken parms. We sauce it, cheese it, and bake them in the oven there. Some of my friends do their weddings out there, and I'm just hooking them up. But they love it.
So that Arthurix account, is that something you still do?
We do them on holidays now.
Holidays,
They've
okay.
definitely, since they opened their new location, the big, beautiful one out of Mockley,
yeah.
that's definitely cut into my end of it a little. They have like 2 culinary departments in there. I
Right.
think there's 2 twin chefs.
Okay.
They crush it.
Okay,
So I
okay.
can't complain that much.
Yeah.
But the one out in Ave, I do a lot of stuff out there still because they give their kitchen staff the holidays off.
Okay.
So I'm in there like 4th of July, Thanksgiving, Christmas, things like that.
Yeah.
New Year's, I think I did.
Do you got a good chef story for me about being in the weeds where you pretty much almost ruined a party or a party didn't go off?
Beautiful. So I have a party for Star Ability. It's a foundation for special needs kids in Naples.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome group of people. We give them a discount. I just want to hook them up always.
Yeah.
So I'm doing barbecue one day. I have probably 225 pounds of meat on the smoker.
Uh-huh.
It's fucking
Flaming
an
like crazy.
Hour and 45 minutes before it needs to go.
Oh,
the
okay,
entire
okay.
thing sets on fire.
That's what I was going
The
to say.
whole
When I hear
fucking thing
barbecue-
sets on fire. I have 3 kitchen fire extinguishers to put it out, and then 2 hand ones to put out the outside fire.
But you can't fire that thing
Fucking
back up
mess.
after that, right?
Not a chance. All that
You're
shit's
done.
garbage. So now we're like 45 minutes out, and I got 4 people cutting chicken. We're pounding chicken. My brother ran to 4 Walmarts, bought all the chicken in Naples that you could find right there.
Oh my
Came back. We're just cranking that out. We did like chicken parm, rosemary chicken.
So you changed the menu.
Completely changed the menu. Completely. Different size.
They're probably like, what
everything.
the hell is this?
And
This
I
ain't what
called
we
the
ordered."
lady as we're on the way. We're like, you won't believe it, but we're still coming. She's like, no fucking way. So I thought we were going with no food. I'm like, nah, I got something figured out.
Wow.
We were on time, fed everyone, no problems. I was like, oh, if they only
Congrats,
knew.
man.
If they only knew. I got my shirt wrapped around my head like a
I talked
Crazy.
to another chef yesterday about like she was doing a party and she had the like maybe one or two pieces over the count of what she's about to serve. Said she lost about 6 or 7 pieces. They all fell on the ground and ruined it. She said she had more at home and called her husband, bring it up here now. But the deal is, like, you might think I'm crazy. I go in with the exact amount.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just, because I'm me.
I go
I'm
in
like
with one
confident.
extra.
I'm not going to screw up.
I go one extra.
Yeah.
That's for me.
I don't do it. I'm right on the money, and I just watch
A lot of the
it.
people that I get, they're like, hey, once I like played everything, I set them. They're like, you coming? I'm like, yeah. So like they'll have my table set, and I come with my food.
Gotcha.
So I bring one extra, and if I really have to give it away, I'll give it away. But I don't. Again, like you,
Right.
That's me. This is what
because
I'm doing.
I'm doing it by myself.
Exactly.
There's nobody
I
else
know what
that's
I'm
going to touch
doing.
this food but
If
me.
I really blow it,
Yeah.
one ain't gonna get me.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all of them.
Yeah.
So
Well, how about this? How about like during COVID, when COVID started?
Yeah.
What troubles did you deal with, or what changed for you right away when COVID hit?
I mean, I had no front of house manager. I had no kitchen manager. It was a disaster. I was down to like a 6-man team.
Yeah.
Luckily, the catering slowed down. Everything slowed down. So we weren't getting road like that.
But you probably got a bunch of calls that, hey, I'm
Oh, for
canceling
sure.
all my events.
Oh, yeah. I had weddings rescheduled for 2 years out.
Wow.
We had to. I think we refunded like 200 plus K.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm not keeping people's money.
Well, yeah.
All
you
those
can't
horror
do that.
stories I heard of people like, oh yeah, they just went out of business and kept my money. I'm like, I'm not going to be that guy.
Yeah.
Even if I am going out of business, I'm not going to be that guy.
Right.
We had no problems with that. I didn't fire a single person. I actually tried to hire people during COVID. I'm like, oh, you just got fired? Come work with me. I'll carry you for 6 months until
There you go.
we're ready to open. So then when we opened the restaurant, you just weren't ready. My whole COVID team,
Right.
they weren't ready. They had nothing accomplished.
But wasn't it all to-go food in the beginning kind of thing?
So that's when I still had my fast casual location, the smaller one.
Yeah.
We were doing like family meals, like 4, 6, 8, and we stayed
Selling
busy.
them? You were doing
we
good
stayed
with
busy.
it.
We kept our head above water.
Yeah.
We didn't lose money. I paid everyone.
Yeah.
We had no problems.
Right.
So
See, I got
Can't
lucky.
complain.
I didn't have to do that to-go stuff.
yeah,
I never advertised it.
Yeah.
What happened was people that knew me locally were like, hey, if you don't have a fever and you can smell and taste, come cook for us.
that's awesome.
You know what I
See,
mean?
that's
So I
awesome.
kept
I had a
pretty
handful
steady.
of those. It definitely wasn't enough to like keep me occupied all the
Right.
time, but I had enough that it was definitely helpful for sure.
And another thing, being a restaurant owner, you must have felt terrible to maybe have to lay people off.
I had a whole staff lined up for the hangout. I had a whole staff. Like
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
ready to roll. I had a whole opening, the whole front house opening team. Like we were ready to go. By the time it was open, I think we opened like 7 months late because of it. I think like 2 people stayed. Yeah. So that was a whole new rehiring process.
Right.
It's a disaster.
But did you, like, I don't know about you, but my business, I surged. Like, I doubled in business because of COVID.
Well, now,
Did you get that a little bit?
probably
like
about-
a pickup?
probably about halfway through.
Uh-huh.
I would definitely, this December, January, February, March, we had record months.
Okay.
So it
I was hearing that.
came back like crazy and
yeah.
then some.
From my
So-
fish guys, like I usually get a lot of
Okay,
stuff
yeah.
from like Blue Star.
Yeah.
You know, so they'd tell me, even though it's COVID,
Yeah.
people are getting record numbers.
Yeah.
You know, the Mercado and
Oh,
You
so
know.
that's why I have a lot of friends at Blue Martini. Me and my brother used to work there. They were crushing it.
yeah.
They were hitting weekly numbers. Like,
Well, people
that
wanted
they're
to
doing
go out
before.
and live. They didn't
Exactly.
want to be
That's-
trapped.
We're doing parties for 250 people.
Right.
3 people would show with a mask, and they're just berating them like, take your mask off.
Yeah. See, speaking of the mask, all those parties, I had to wear masks.
Exactly. I wore them for probably the first 6 to 7 months, and then after that, people were like, "We're okay."
See, they all had their own different comfort levels. Some
Exactly.
people would be like, please don't wear your mask.
Exactly. I did
because I'm
whatever
going to
they
make
wanted.
them feel uncomfortable.
Exactly. I want y'all to have. You're giving me your money. I want you to have your good time.
Yeah,
I'm
here-
not here for myself. I'm here for
Yeah.
you guys to do what you want.
And then I had another weird one. This was like a first where they said, hey, we have a physician assistant with us that are going to do a swab test on you before you walk in. I'm like, I'm fine. No problem. I feel great. So I walk in. They did the thing, and it was good.
Yeah.
But I walked in, did the party, everything. But that was a little strange.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, we're really
that.
going to do a COVID test right before I get here?
Yeah.
But, yeah, so anyway, I did that.
That's funny.
But, hey, man, it was nice to meet you. I
Yeah,
just wanted to ask
cool.
you got your opportunity now to tell everybody kind of what you got going on. If you want to plug your website, restaurant, catering, go for it.
So definitely this time of year is summer. Gotta love summer. We have a little more time on our hands.
Break, yeah.
Exactly. So we're running all new season specials at the restaurant. We're running a whole new menu just rolled out pretty much. We have a new cocktail menu dropping. Our Sunday brunch just came back.
Wow.
So we got a whole new Sunday brunch menu. A couple of the old things came back on. I got a hangover wrap that it literally cures a hangover basically. The thing is like this fat, full with a couple fried items, but still a little healthy, some avocado in there.
Cool.
But definitely that. And then Fridays, I do barbecue Fridays. So I smoke brisket, ribs, pork, have chickens, and now we'll have a little more time. I'm going to do some fish over summer. So that's definitely going to be – I get to take a little more time on me now instead of having to just constantly head down. Get a little more ideas flowing for summertime.
Cool.
So we got to do some cool stuff now.
Well, best of luck to you, man.
Yeah, I
mean,
appreciate that.
It sounds like you got a lot going on, and I'm sure you're going to be just jamming.
Yeah, we'll see how this year goes coming up.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, to me, it seems like summer is somewhat steady for me. Like, I'm getting calls like crazy for June
we definitely look good still. We aren't really empty until August. So I got a couple months out. So we're looking good. I just got a new front of house manager at the restaurant. So things are on the up.
Cool.
Things are definitely going.
Well, thanks for coming by, and
for sure, man. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
I will. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.